here it is, the world's largest lived-in palace of the longest-serving dynasty of the House of Mewar. It sprawls over 2.5 kilometers in the lap of the Aravalli Mountains in Udaipur and dates back to the 16th century. It seems to be frozen in time and space. And here in the More Chowk, it definitely is the 17th century. Built by Maharaja Singh, everything here is the same. The antique silver thals, the elaborately cooked royal jeeman, the flickering candles. I am the only oddball bouncing around here in this historic 17th century More Chowk. You know, I may be a global eatabout. I may have been to the most exquisite gourmet capitals of the world, been there, tasted that, but I have never ever had a taste of the centuries like here today. Now you know why I'm so absurdly overdressed today. I'm dining with the heir to the 76th custodian of the House of Mewar, Maharaj Kumar Lakshat Singh Ji Mewar, as he is referred to in hushed tones around here. Not only sets up this historic dinner for me, but also patiently answers my questions. Hey, what's this ruby red stuff you're about to drink?
This is a rose liqueur, which is what this region is very famous for.
After this, our meal takes on the air of a fast-forward dream sequence as we eat food cooked to ancient recipes. And, of course, we do so only out of ancient silver thals.
Well, if you see, what you would really start off with is with the white potatoes, the safed aloo, which is basically called white because all the ingredients in this is white. It's something that it's a vegetarian dish. That's what you would start off with, and as a part of the digestive, you start with the next dish is the spinach. But coming to the spinach, it's obviously more of a digestive because as the meat is on the heavier side, and then something that would cleanse your body, which would be the spinach. So it's the green that the body really requires. Moving on to the other dish, which is basically dumplings, which is made out of flour. And then you have the yellow curd, which is a speciality of this region.
Okay.
Which is, the colors basically comes from turmeric.
The rotis, mind you, must be correctly eaten. The bajre ki roti with curry, and the cornflour thothari with safed aloo, and also with the traditional roundly spiced popular garlic and dahi based lal mas. The pulka with the rest of the food. I'd like to know one thing. How do you manage to remain so slim, and if I may add sexy, when you have so much of ghee and everything and it's so yummy?
Thank you for the compliment. But well, obviously you do try and keep yourself fit. You do go for your jogs in the morning. And well, one walks so much across the campus on a day-to-day basis. I think more than anything else, and climbing those steps, more than anything else keeps one fit.
Please notice how he refers to his palace and palace hotels as campus. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to chase him around in that very campus. This is what is known as a royal feast. Okay, so would you like to tell us about this exciting course you've done in Australia and come back?
Yes, it was the Bachelor of Commerce Hospitality and Tourism Management course, which was over 3 years, but I extended it by about 6 months, as I really was enjoying working in Sydney.
Okay.
So I got a decent job offer, so I planned to extend it where I was working in a fine dining restaurant for a year.
Out of their 9 palace hotels, it is an experience to see even these 2 palaces through Laksh Raj's eyes, especially this bar built by his great-great-great-great-grandfathers. Who built it?
Well, it was obviously built as the part when the whole complex was getting built. So obviously, well, talking at the turn of the century, it was Darbar Fateh Singh Ji and Sajjan Singh Ji, who kind
Darbar Fateh Singh Ji.
Ji.
That was his name.
No, Maharana
Fateh Singh Ji.
Maharana Fateh Singh Ji and Maharana Bhagwat Singh Ji.
You know, he's the most diplomatic, guarded and proper 22-year-old I've ever met. But he breaks all rules and offers me a taste of the historic Crystal Gallery, literally. Somehow I get the feeling as though I'm walking through the centuries. Hey, why am I whispering? I'm really getting carried away, ain't I?
Well, this was, I don't know if you know the history, but I'll just tell you a little bit about it. This was ordered by one of my ancestors, Maharaja Sajjan Singh ji, in 1877. All this crystal that we see out here.
1877?
1877, that's
Jeez.
right.
Huh.
And it was unfortunately delivered after his death.
Oh.
So it was considered as bad omen by his successor. And for centuries, it was not opened and it was just lying. And after hundreds of years, my father decided to unwrap them and display it for the public. So we really are lucky to be able to be here in this place and experience all this crystal and the ambience. And well, there is a special touch to this that the family has been known for is the asha, which is a liqueur of the state, which is basically made out of saffron. And we can experience that in this environment as well.
And then a treat follows. I drink asha, the traditional Udaipur liqueur brewed from saffron, out of this very same collection of FNC Osler crystal. Wow, I'm indeed honored.
Well, just to add an extra oomph to what we're having, obviously this is again a creation of home and some freshwater fish to accompany what we're drinking, which
Wow.
is from the local area as well.
Okay, from the lake across?
Yes, you could, yes.
Oh, great.
This has never been used. This is the first time
So
it's
I
actually
am-
been unwrapped and been put on display. So,
Wow, so I am indeed honored.
well, I think we
Thank
all
you.
are.
Wow. What is this called? Fish tikki.
So it's the fish tikkies. Yes, here we go.
Thank you.
Please.
This is really heavy, this crystal. Huh?
It is. I'm just going to be a true Indian and use my fingers.
You know, around here, I've stopped thinking. I've just started feeling. And then comes the piece de resistance. I wash my hands in the 17th century Osler crystal chilamchri. This is really the height of royalty. And that's my idea of ending a great meal. And of course, Lakshraj must be saying, "Haath dho ke piche pad gayi hai." Well, I'm going to let you off the hook. And oh gosh, I have a meeting with your father, Maharana Shriji Arvind Singh Ji Mewar.
Well, one better not be late for that.
I know I might get beheaded. As you'd expect, Maharana Shriji Arvind Ji Singh Ji Mewar, the 76th custodian of the House of Mewar, more than lives up to his image. He is an institution in himself. He is proud of being a grand patron of the arts, music and food. He is also irrepressible and ready with one-liners. He also runs the largest chain of heritage hotels, schools, hospitals, charitable organizations, libraries, and drives me through this huge palace complex in his 1930 MG. What else? We drive into what used to be a palki khana, but is now an international restaurant manned by an Australian chef. So, chef, would you like to tell us how, what you have in mind and how do you see this? I mean, are you excited by coming here?
I am, incredibly so. It's a wonderful facility and it's a wonderful operation, especially as I think India is really growing quickly. The idea of myself being here is that the Maharaja has tried to capture some international experts to come out and assist. And they have very, very capable staff, but what he wants to do is encourage and expose them to some trends as well as influences that are happening worldwide.
So, what all do you have in mind in terms of cuisine? Like, do you have anything in mind? Are you still...
Well, I'm working with the chef. The chef here has designed the menu, and he's used his creativity and his knowledge of the market here, but also of what he believes the market wants. I haven't designed the menu and the chef here has, But with that, he has a very good amount as well as an idea of international trends. And as this is a particularly new unit, it's a matter of trial and error.
So we needed to create this, and fortunately it is being received rather well. It fills in a very big vacuum.
Lovely. Salad Niçoise, tiramisu, fabulous Belgian chocolate. Now this is exactly what I meant by spinning in and out of centuries seamlessly in this one beautiful place. And we have right here Chef Andrew Beatty, the Australian consultant chef, who is taking this place into the 23rd century. Am I right, Chef?
Well, seamlessly you said, so there is no century stamp there.
Seamlessly. Thank you. And now for my cooking lesson from this king of gourmet. When I walk into his palace terrace, I notice that he's intently and single-mindedly barbecuing his mutton soulas. And this, by the way, is his view from his kitchen. I'm your helper.
No, you're not, you just leave it there.
I want to help you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whoops!
This is why I didn't want you to come.
He's going to blame me for that.
You
Brilliant.
see, you get a nice burning charcoal, just a little bit of ghee,
Ghee sizzling over it.
this, and band kar de.
What an amazing thing to do, and it's
It's
so
so simple.
simple. Yeah,
So
I've said it together. It's so simple. Just take a burning charcoal, drizzle some ghee over it, and some crushed powdered cinnamon and cloves,
Cinnamon
and
cloves.
trap the.
Not many people smoke
Yeah.
when they make this barbecue. It's just raw. And there's dahi, there is dhania, all that nonsense,
Yeah.
which should never be put, according to me,
Okay.
on a barbecue.
Oh wow. You smell the cloves, huh? Tang.
You can do that to rice also,
Really?
cooked rice.
What's smoking?
अब देखो। नहीं,
This is a great new thing to learn, huh?
to be sliced, it has to be thin. If it is big boti size, then it doesn't get cooked in the center.
All right.
Therefore, you see, a boti has to be sliced in such a way so that the marinade gets into the deepest part, and then once you put it in the skewer, you
Yeah.
put it like this and like that.
Okay.
The seeds out. Haldi,
Okay.
ginger paste, and garlic paste. End of story.
Please note, as you'd expect, this royal gourmet is a past master at getting his helpers to do all the work. These are not his hands.
It's difficult to cut. There are not many people who do it. They do it with botis or very thick, chunky meat,
Yeah.
which is not how it should
Okay.
be.
So the real secret, as you said rightly,
Is the cut.
Is in the cut.
Another thing is the skewers must always be square and never round.
Okay.
Because when you turn the skewers around, the meat also turns around in a round skewer.
That's a good tip. Okay, now listen.
Gee, just push it back.
Bas,
That's it. Well done.
we're all set. Thank you. Is there any proportion of the marinade to the mutton?
Well, I can't give it to you in grams, but I can only say that it's more a matter of feel than anything else.
What do you feel? Do you have it like soaking in the marinade? Or?
No. As you can see, there is no soaking.
So, and how long do you keep it in the marinade?
The longer the better.
So, do you also suggest keeping it overnight?
No, in the winter you can keep it overnight. In the summer you can't.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can marinate it in the morning. And the other beauty of this item is that you can have it as a cocktail snack, and you can always also have it as a part of a main dish.
Why is it called sula? Any particular reason? Because of this thing being a sula?
Yeah.
As simple as
Skewered,
that?
yeah.
Okay. As the ghee drips and sizzles on the coals, the fragrance of the barbecuing mutton is wafting the cool night air. Our wait is over. The succulent sulas summon. My tutor responds. He adds crispy onions and nimbu. I can swear that I can hear him salivate in anticipation. I'm doing that anyways.
When I do chicken, I add dahi because I do the Panju style.
We sit on the
When I
terrace
do
as
meat,
clouds gather and cool rain
especially
droplets
if I have
patter.
this cut, then
I
do
can't help
add
but
dhania
notice the
and-
bib that he's
dhania
wearing.
and, well, the quality of meat is very important because this is not overcooked. And when you overcook a meat, then you hide the quality. So you can taste the quality of meat when you cook it as rare as this.
Okay. I want to know what you feel when you're cooking. How do you feel?
Well, I find cooking very relaxing and very therapeutic.
Okay.
It requires 100% attention.
You're also apparently very fond of classical music, listening to classical music, you're a grand patron of the arts. What do you feel about food? Do you feel cooking is in the same category as the...
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Have you worked with any great chefs you'd like to tell us about?
Well, a lot of Indian chefs I have, been very into because you see they are just as curious as I am. They are curious to know, like yourself. I mean, I wouldn't classify you as a chef, but the fact is that you're curious about the recipes. Similarly, I'm curious about their recipes.
Okay.
But because of the limitations of ingredients and the availability, and like the West, you can get any kind of cut you want. Here you got to do it yourself. And the big problem is standardizing these sort of things out here.
Your passion for food and perfection translating into your profession.
Well, I think my passion for food is translating into my profession only insofar as that we'd like to try and give them, I mean, it's a cliched term to say that you're getting home-cooked food, but what you're really getting is not home-cooked food. We're trying to make sure that you're really getting home-cooked food. At least that is the intention, and that is what we are striving to do.
And as it rains on this magnificent terrace right here, I'm sorry, my time machine has come to a stop and I've stopped skipping centuries. But I can tell you one thing, I'll leave from here with a fragrant, succulent, smoked, simple recipe of the sula, which is, to put it mildly, a timeless recipe.